So there's going to come a point in your process of losing body fat where the calories and the range of calories that you're intaking, those are going to be expired because the energy that you're intaking does not match the energy that you're putting out. It's not creating a deficit anymore. And a lot of times you hear people talk about this. They don't know that that's what's going on, but you hear them say things like, I'm stuck or I'm at a plateau. Plateaus are not bad things. It's just information. It's data. It's awareness. The problem is that most people do not know what to do from then on. What's common when people reach that point that I see, they start doing a bunch of crazy stuff. They're doing all this cardio. So I've seen people go to the gym twice a day and do cardio. I've seen them do multiple workouts a day. I've seen them go on to take part in these drastic low-calorie fad diets. When you start doing that, that's how you know you don't know what you're doing. You're just doing things out of emotion, but you're not doing things out of strategy. And when it comes to lowering body fat, everything is about strategy. Everything is intentional. You cannot just make up things on the fly and expect it to translate to one, fat loss, and two, sustainability, which is a variable that many people think for some reason doesn't matter. So when you reach that plateau, when you reach that part in your process where things are at a stall, it depends on the person. It depends on what you've been doing, and it depends on the type of training, the type, the calories, the range of the calories that you were on previously. I can give you an example. I have 2 clients, well actually 3, where they started on the lower end calorie-wise. Their body fat was on the higher side, so we wanted to bring things down. So we started them with a window of calories, and over time, we train a certain way in that calorie deficit to bring body fat down. But one of the missing pieces that people don't understand, when you're in a calorie deficit, you still need to train hard. You still have to train like you're trying to put on mass, so to speak. You have to train in a way that's intense. Now, you can't get big and massive because you're in a calorie deficit. That's the driver. It doesn't matter. What many of you need to understand is that no exercise makes you big. The amount of calories is what's going to aid that. You can train like a freaking bodybuilder. You can train like a person on steroids. If you don't eat enough fuel and calories, you're not going to get big. It's not going to happen. You cannot build muscle without energy and without adequate energy. You cannot build mass without adequate energy. So you would have to eat a ton of calories. Most people don't even have the careers to be able to do that. They don't even have the work life or availability to be able to do that. So understand that training intense in a calorie deficit is not going to make you massively huge. Okay? So we train really hard. We're signaling, we're communicating to the body that I want to stay strong and I want to keep the muscle that I do have. When you do that, the body is really good at remembering. The body's resilient and is very intelligent. So you will teach your body, you will train your body, and the nervous system, it's kind of like sending a lot of emails to your body, but you'll train it to understand that I always want to be and remain strong. Let's fast forward a little bit. My clients began to get hungrier because remember, we're training intensely. They are putting out more intensity level. They are putting out more of an effort. They're training to be strong. They're not training for weight loss. They're training to be strong. You don't train for weight loss. So what happens is we increase calories. And some people might hear that and get a little intimidated. You mean to tell me I can lose body fat and eat and eat more, as long as you are not in a calorie surplus, you'll be fine. Now, I know I'm throwing out a lot of terms, and many of you probably don't even know what this means, which is why you should stop asking for tips all the time and learn through experience and through proper guidance. I'll save that for another day. But when we did these increases with 3 of my clients, I increased their calories about 400 to 500 calories a day. Still lost body fat, stronger, numbers went up, all the boxes checked. So we're losing body fat, eating more calories. That is a perfect spot that you want to be in. That is the place you want to be in. You don't want to be so heavily reliant on a small calorie window, on such a drastic small calorie window to lose body fat, because that's like being in a prison. And this is why many of you cannot eat amounts of food on the weekend without gaining weight and gaining fat over time, because you never give attention to your metabolic health. My goal as a coach, when I coach my clients, I'm not just looking to help them lose body fat. I'm not just looking to help them gain muscle. I'm trying to improve their metabolic health. So when they come to me, they can't handle all those calories right away. This is why we don't start them so high. We build that up gradually over time. But my goal ultimately is to get you in a place where your metabolic health improves. It's not, see, this is how you keep the fat off. You want to keep your furnace, your metabolic furnace burning, your metabolism burning, but you have to know how many calories to eat initially, when to change them, and how much to change them to. These are 3 very key points. This is the part that people are missing out on, and why they struggle with fad diets, going in and out, yo-yoing. And then you hear people say things like, I've lost weight before, it worked. It did not work, because you gained the weight back. If it did that, what you did, your method, was not effective. So you need to learn how to get to a place and eat in a calorie window that's sustainable over time, because you don't want to just lose weight. You want to lose fat weight, and you don't want to just lose fat weight. You want to develop more muscle so that you have a better metabolism. That's the key to all this. Having a stronger and a more efficient metabolism is going to set you free, because you can handle more calories, because you can now build muscle, because you can recover better, because you can perform better and you'll be stronger, because you can handle glucose better in the body, because you can handle insulin better in the body, which is a struggle for many, because their blood sugar is always spiked and they always have strong cravings. But when you get to a place where your body can handle foods differently than the average person, you can handle more calories, you can eat certain foods and they won't affect your body like they once did. This is what I teach my clients to do. I don't just train their aesthetics. I train their bodies and their metabolisms and their muscle.